welcome to the channel. It's kind of something new for me that I always kind of scoffed at the idea of doing, but I've been kind of pushed into it and persuaded by a few people to start doing it. So quick intro of what you're going to get out of my channel. You're going to get some stuff about my projects, obviously my jet boat, my car, my dad's hot rods. You're going to see a lot of footage on the river this year. You see a lot of good footage on the river. Jet boat meets. We have a big jet boat meet every August, the Midwest Jet Boat V-Drive meet. This will be the fourth one, and it's going to be huge. It grows every year. It gets bigger and bigger. Matt Peterson does a great job putting it together. This channel is going to feature street racing and no prep and river stuff. All kinds of cool stuff. I'm going to be out and about a lot this summer, doing a lot of cool things. So let's get started on my boat. It's a Cheyenne Jet Boat, Cheyenne Tunnel Hole. How did I get into jet boats? Well, I like hot rods, and I've been around hot rod cars my whole life. My father-in-law got a lake house. We started going out there probably about 6-7 years ago, and I said, hey, I want a boat, and I found jet boats. So this is like a hot rod on the water, right? Throws rooster tails. It's cool. So I found one. I found a Sidewinder. It's more like a ski boat. It's a cool boat, nice family boat, covered engine, all that. Oldsmobile with a Berkeley jet, like everybody else's first boat, right? And so that's what happened. Fast forward a few years, I found myself not using my Camaro anymore, not really taking it out much. We did a little bit of back of the track stuff. I street raced it kind of here and there. What if I took the motor, put in a hot rod boat? Ron Silverstein, he's a local boat racer up here. He says, hey, you know, Brandon's selling this boat, you know, and at the time I remember seeing that they were selling a gull wing and it was priced a little higher. I said, well, just message him. So I messaged him, and I come to find out it's this boat. It's a bare hull. It's just been sitting in his garage. I knew the boat. I've seen pictures of it. It's been raced around the area for a while, and he basically upgraded hulls. He had another one laid up, a brand new one. He had this sitting on a cradle in his garage. He said, hey, you know, come look at it. He gave me a number. So I went up there to check it out. It was a little rough around the edges. Up at Blarney Island, these boats take a beating up there. If you're familiar with racing up there, it gets real choppy. It's you know, like a public lake that they race at on Thursday nights. It's notorious for being real choppy, you know. So the boats get beat up out there. Especially something a little lighter. And this boat, while it's not like super light, I think they say like 450 pounds or so. The plan was to build it slowly and take our time. And that's kind of what we did. We kept the Sidewinder, and we kept having our family fun. Went some jet boat meets. Fast forward to 2021. I bought the boat in November of 2020. Fast forward to 2021, August. An annual Midwest Jet Boat meet in Ottawa. And I got to ride in my buddy Ron's Daytona. And that was it. That was probably the worst thing I could have done. It sealed the deal. I said, I need this. I need this in my life. So I sold the Sidewinder. My wife and daughter still give me crap for it because that was our baby. It was our family boat. Sold it to a gentleman up in Canada. Man, we really started getting the ball rolling on this thing. I didn't have a trailer for it. You know, I bought it from Brandon without a trailer. It came with all the rigging. The steering was in it. Everything was there. You know, the forward reverse lever. The pedal, rail kit was there, and though it had a big black Chevy in it, it still works. You just got to change the front plate to an LS. This is the motor out of my Camaro, the nitrous motor that served me really well. Killer motor, but I didn't want to rob it out of my car, and unfortunately, I didn't want to rob most things out of the car, and I did. I had to. I had to take the ignition box. I had to rob the fuel pump, like relays, switches, you name it. I was taking it out of the car. It sucks, but whatever, it is what it is. So we busted our butt to get this thing together and get it on the water. My goal was to have it at the third jet boat meet in Ottawa in August, late August. So let's fast forward a little bit. I know I kind of ramble, I kind of all over the place. Didn't have a trailer for it, so I was buying and selling and trading parts boats. That became my thing, just to get parts for this thing. I bought a boat sight unseen from a guy in Decatur, Illinois. I had my little brother go down there and pick it up while I was at work. But it comes with a brand new American turbine bowl, American turbine droop, American turbine nozzle diverter setup, which is, I know, a little obsolete these days, but I've been told that the American turbine nozzles are better than like the place nozzles. I know the West Coast guys are going to give me shit for that, but It's just what I've been told. But anyway, so I got that stuff, and then I ended up parting the rest of that boat out, and I made money off of it and kept parts. But another one pops up for sale. It's been sitting in a storage lot forever. I go up there and look at it, and I really just wanted the fuel tanks out of it. But it came with a motor. It came with a big block with Bassett headers. It came with these nice stainless Imco tanks, side tanks, which I really wanted side tanks because I wanted to put a back seat in this thing. Whether or not this thing will ever get a back seat, though, when it's all said and done, I don't know. So I ended up with my fuel tanks. I didn't keep anything else off that boat. I sold the hull in the trailer. I did pretty good and got my fuel tanks. So essentially got my fuel tanks plus a few bucks. And then I'm looking for a trailer. I find an old Texas Tunnel race boat. Way long story short, I get a message. I have that boat. I post as me and says, hey man, you know, I got this trailer in my backyard. It used to have a 19 TPR on it if you want it. I said, yeah, sure. So we made a deal. We met down in Missouri. Got the trailer home. I need to put bunks on it. I carpeted and did the bunks like the next day. My wife still gives me crap about it, but I had her help me push the boat onto the trailer. And we did. We got it done. At that point, I think it's like July. So we're coming close to the meet. Like, we're getting real close. And keep in mind, I've never built a boat before. Like, I really don't know what I'm in for. I'm just going, you know what I mean? So I had, I set the intake in it. I got an MPD intake in it, a low profile intake, shoe, ride plate, all that deal that I got from George at ARS. Said it. He's there every step of the way. Anytime I call him for the dumbest shit, he's always there to help me out. He's great. It's one thing I noticed with this jet boat thing is, like, compared to cars, everyone's so much more helpful and accommodating, it seems, at least in my experience. I don't know. I've met some cool people in the boat world. It's completely different. I've made Instagram posts and I've unsolicited had guys. Now, I don't say unsolicited like in a rude way, like, oh, I'm not asking for your opinion. But I've had guys from me one day and was kind of giving me some advice. Like, this stuff never, I don't post something with my car and have, think of whatever random, LS racer guy shop just message me and be like, hey man, by the way, while you're doing that, it'd be better if you did this, or it'd be safer if you did that. Never. But I have that with boats. It's crazy. I really appreciate the help I've gotten along the way. I've had a lot of help, and I'm going to continue to have a lot of help. So I shout out to everybody that's helped me, man. I got the motor out of the Camaro that weekend. Put the motor into the boat. We got it in there, got it set up. Had to deal with some things with driveline angle and having a low profile intake and a tight tunnel hole, and having it set back to where I can still have a back seat. Kind of gave me some issues. Instead of having a little mini drive shaft on it and setting it forward like most guys do, which I may end up doing it. The weekend after that, took the boat to his house. He helped me fab up some transom plates. I brought it home. We didn't get it running at his house. He really wanted to, but it just didn't happen. Got it home, and I think like a day or two later, I kicked this thing off, had it running. Got my boat together. We made it to the meet. Wasn't fully prepared. Some of the rigging stuff I did was kind of half-assed, and there was also just stuff that I didn't know about. I've never built a boat, especially not a boat like this. I've done stringers and stuff like that in my old boat, but this was different. This was from the bare hull to what you see. So we got it there. We had some issues. The meet was kind of a washout. It poured the whole day. I was trying to fix the boat in the pouring rain. We went and had some lunch. Once the rain died, we got the boat in the water. Unfortunately, most everybody was out of the water except for some of our buddies. So we took the boat out. We got it at the sandbar, which was my goal. That was my only goal, was to have it on the water and under its own power go to the sandbar, which is like 200 yards away from the launch. And it did. We succeeded. We took some cool pictures of it. Hung out with friends. Stood back and talked about how cool it looked. Next couple weekends, I got it fixed up. George came through and hooked me up with another impeller that he had laying around and wear ring. We got it sized up and fitted, got it in, and I took the boat out and I cruised it the next weekend. I put it on the GPS and it did 83 mile an hour, which it's not groundbreaking, but bear in mind, that I haven't touched anything on this boat. We haven't messed with the shoes. I still have, I've got a droop snoot on it, and it's got a low profile intake. Everybody tells me that's the wrong way to go. That from it being not safe because it's gonna, lift up at angles, bad thrust angles. So there's some small things that need to be changed on it. I'm sure the motor might need a little bit of tuning, being that it just went directly from the car to the boat. I didn't touch anything except I kind of messed with the idle circuit and the idle timing, but that was it. So I'm sure there's a little more there. I'd like to see this thing up a little bit closer to like 85, 87 mile an hour. And then I'm going to open the bottle. And there's going to be some cool footage this summer. So stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel, and I hope you like what you see. Thanks.